So Anthony Edwards has had a few games this year where he's looked like basically an MVP candidate. His most recent game played before he went out with health and safety, he went 10 for 14 from outside against the Nuggets. Then there was the game right before the Denver game where he had 24 points on over 50% shooting, and my favorite thing was that on top of the shot making, in this game he had 9 free throw attempts. And then you had the game before those two against Cleveland where Edwards, he had a tough night. He was 1 for 8 from outside. The sometimes difficult threes that he falls in love with were not dropping, and he also had 0 free throw attempts. This is just where Edwards is at right now. On one possession, you get a guy who looks like a linebacker that guys have no choice but to foul. And then other times, well, you get step back 15 footers. Before I start going into this, though, let me just establish, I think Edwards is very good right now, and with him being this good in his second season, T-Wolves fans should be super duper hyped. This is more so me just airing out the fact that I think his potential is nuts. If I'm going to talk about Edwards shooting, I have to mention that for the season he's at 36% on almost 9 threes a game, which is good, and perhaps even very good given how many he attempts. However, the frustrating thing there is that it's not very consistent. One game he'll be Reggie Miller, like this one against the Jazz where he was 4 for 8 from 3. And then other nights he'll look like someone who you never want taking a 3, like when he was 1 for 7 against the Nets. Now, does this mean I think Edwards should stop shooting threes? No, of course not. But he does like his difficult ones. And I think it would benefit Edwards and the Wolves to just try to get him going downhill a little more often. I think Edwards has all the tools to be one of the highest free throw attempts guys in the league. And just one of the best inside scorers, period. The best way to do this in the half court, of course, is through pick and rolls, of which he is averaging about 5.5 a game, according to NBA.com. Of course, right now, even if you're attempting to get Edwards going downhill, he's still going to have the possessions where he pulls up. You just kind of have to deal with that with Edwards right now. But there's also stuff like this, where he blows by Bam Adebayo with a simple hesitation. One of the best perimeter defending big guys in the league, Edwards, just a couple of moves, and he finishes before PJ Tucker can even rotate. Another one from this Heat game where Tyler Hero just had no shot dealing with him once he got some momentum. Even with a play like that one, I still don't think Edwards has mastered using his frame to finish through guys or draw contact, like this one here on De'Aaron Fox. There are times as well where he just busts out some kind of awkward looking layups. And then other times he'll have some beautiful up and under stuff. It's the Anthony Edwards experience. You don't always know what you're going to get. As far as his playmaking is concerned, Edwards at times will pull out a great split-second read. And then you get plays like this one where Beverly sets him a screen. There's the window to throw him the pass, and then Beverly can keep the offense moving. And instead, Edwards decides to chuck up a step back. I think there's a lot of potential defensively for him as well. Given his size, he could be a brick wall to ball handlers, where he's got the size to keep them off of their spot and the speed to stick with them. Then you get plays like this one where he's a little slow getting back in transition. Here, you'll see that as he focuses on LaMelo, he loses track of Cody Martin completely as he gets a layup. But there's also always the potential of plays like this one for him. And hey, for what it's worth, the T-Wolves are a borderline top 10 defense and Edwards has played heavy minutes. So there are some things to clean up, but I do think Edwards' potential is ridiculously high. Anyway, Franz Wagner had 25 points against the Hawks. Franz keeps getting better by the week, it seems. At first it was like, oh, he can make plays off the dribble when he's got the opportunity, and now he's just going to back down guys in the post. Or it's plays like this one where he gets a screen super early, Gorgie Jang drops, and then he just kind of finishes around him. This rookie class is kind of nuts. I'm thinking about doing a video where I just go down like how deep it really is. You can go past the rookie first team this year, and you've still got guys to be excited about. Also, Halliburton went off again. This is now 4 games with him at point guard playing like a star player. A lot of people are saying trade De'Aaron Fox, go all in on Halliburton. We'll see. I assume the Kings are going to make some sort of a trade. We also can't rule out the possibility of those two fitting together with Halliburton having more of an on-ball role. I know, crazy thought. Let's check out Joe Johnson's first bucket in a long time. This is a classic old man bucket. It's Justin Anderson defending him. Nuggets my GM legend Justin Anderson. If you know, you know. That was like 5 seconds to get a 2-pointer off from Joe Johnson. I loved it. And nearly 400,000 viewers. Last night's Pacers Heat game was the NBA's least watched game. Suns Lakers was 1.5 million. Why isn't Mr. Beast on television? That's the only thing that I get from this. The guy gets 1.5 million in a half hour, and you're telling me he can't be on TV in some way?